Hello everyone, this is Cookies. I've got turn 53. We have one message from Agartha. Well, that was a self-own on the Earthquake play, 9 gems and a mage loss to a PD dump. They also have too large an army inside for me to damage the walls with the one I have. I want to pass this honestly low value fort behind and push on to Yes, where I could deploy my god, but I can't afford to leave an army that large behind me. Instead, I'm going to have to risk a siege and battle. Meanwhile, I'm going to continue to leave the Yes capital alone. It would be an incredibly slow siege, and I'm not confident I could win without my god. I'd love to cut off his Morgan champion production, but I honestly have the counter to those when I need to if they venture out. Instead, I'm going to conquer everything in the water except Yes itself, and will happily do the raid counter raid dance if he sends some out. My major worry is if he has moved all of his Morgan champions to the coastal fort, in which case we're about to have a big battle there that I could lose, but not cheaply. On the Jotunheim front, I've decided to dare him to leave his capital. I'm going to be going south to Naba, taking as much land as I can on the way. This works well with the timing of my army coming southeast into Yes's coast. It will give me the opportunity to command that land army with this. Depending on the situation, I may actually besiege and try to take down Naba. If Jotunheim strikes out with anything short of his entire army from his cap, I believe I can get the forces in place to counter it before it can take anything important, which now includes the middle Jotunheim fort. Since I'll have the connection again through the lands I took from Yes, if Jotunheim does not go out with his entire army, even better, I will be able to hit them with my god without having to park my god on their cap for 4 to 5 turns. My strategic goal continues to be to up my economy so I can afford the 2 front wars I have to expect I'll be in for the rest of the game, while trying to take battles that won't be too costly. The cash crunch has eased, but it isn't over. I'm able to restart scout recruitment this turn, but still can't afford to recruit troops or mages from most of my forts. Most importantly, though, is the gem production I can get from Yes's lands. Okay. Alright, we have a fair number of battles again. Alright, so we got Might Marsh. Oh, it's the Demi-Lich. 18 MR. What all is he running into? Not a lot of Olms here, just a few. This looks like mostly Siege Chaff with some Golem Crafters. I'm not sure why they have air gems. Is there an air mage in this army? I am so confused why they have air gems. Okay. Then you've got a bunch of deaths, so this probably... Are we seeing bone grinding now? Yeah, okay. The bone grinding spam has begun. And the Olms don't do anything versus that, because an A-caster still works even if you're paralyzed. What happened to the Demi? Looks like maybe he got mind blasted down, though. Okay, I mean... I'm assuming it's just mind blast. Alright, so that Agartha army got fucked up. Oh, there was an adept. What paths did he have? Was he an air mage? No. Okay. Well, now I have no idea. Honestly, the defenders of the halls handled it pretty well. The golem crafters with turn one buffs also did reasonably well. Losing 4 out of 8 mages does suck, but I feel like it could have been worse. Oh, they did not do turn one buffs. Well, they did summon earth power, which I guess gave them a little bit of protection. And then they did the group iron skin. Alright. Then in Last Step Swamp. Alright, we got a mono drop now. Noble Peace Contender. Let's see. Dropping on Pythium. On the there's stolen spiders and there's some knights. Line of Emerald Guard, a few birds to try and interrupt. But they won't do anything versus a monolith. And then, yeah, so I think we're in the part of the mid game where the drops start coming online. Not an earthquake trap though. It is not empowered in water for foul vapors. Just doing 2 pearls. Maybe just gonna try and tank it all. Could be a little bit dangerous. This guy can get soul slayed. Especially at only 16 MR. And that's what Pythium's been showing all game. Paralyze doesn't do anything. I don't know why they're casting that. Yeah, here comes the Soul Slay. I wonder if the community is just not quite strong enough. Magic boost 2. It should be. All of them should be able to Soul Slay. I don't even think Paralyze should be cast at immobiles, because it just doesn't do anything. They've already got an 8 caster, it's still casting spells, even though it's paralyzed. It's not like it's gonna walk around. Oh, danger close. Alright. There we go. Now we're getting some of the soul slays. Might be a little bit too late to save the knights, though. It survived more checks than I would have thought. Let's take a look at some of these checks. Yeah, it's kind of hard to read. There's a lot of soul slays. To not even get one lucky roll? I guess it's up to 20 MR now. Where's the Emerald Guard? Okay, they're taking them out. All the business days. combat speed 4. I don't know where that Breath of the Dragon was going. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Pythium's getting unlucky here. Let me take a look at one of these. So it's trying to overcome a difference of 11. But they're just not getting many of the exploding rolls. 20 versus 26. 18 versus 30. Yeah, you need like something to explode up into the 20s. There it is. Alright, well, the whole army's pretty much toast at this point. But it does kill the monolith. Alright. So it loses one Theurg. The I guess the troops for the army are pretty much ruined. 49 Emerald Guard, 3 Black Hunters, and 16 Knights. Alright, so a lot of drops so far. Let's see, Blightlands. Rouse Hunger. That's not going to do anything. Well, it'll gem bait, I guess. Ooh, I missed something. It's another drop. We have Wind of Death. Alright, so it looks like she's HP routed, but she did get off both casts. Alright, so another drop that's pretty much going to wipe an army. Looks like she got all the Emerald Guard. I think there might be 5 or 6 that didn't get hit. Alright, so Arouse Hunger was just the, I guess, like the shield for the Wind of Death. I am curious to see if they catch up to the crown. And she gets away with it. Alright. Oh, that's painful for Pythium. Loses 2 more Theurgs, another 90 Emerald Guard. These guys are so good at fighting, but they've only got 10 MR. Might be time to pull out maybe some of the cheaper legionary troops, just so you can mass them a bit faster. Alright. And then, so, we've had drops from Yes, Machaka, and Shinyama. Now we've got a Golem drop. This is the Golem that caused Pythium so much pain earlier. We got another small Pythium stack. This one in particular has the Patriarch. Oh, this guy's got no chakras. Uh-oh. Yeah, he's stunned. Nice. So Pythium defends this one. Kills that pretty expensive golem, probably collected a fair amount of the gear. So that works out, gets some revenge. And Camia got another Pythium army. This one's Alright, now we're getting just a normal army v army fight. Kind of curious. Here's all the gems. We have this adept here. We have a blue cap. Bakemono sorcerer. This heroic dragon. And then a lizard shaman, some nature. Theurg with some pearls. Let's go ahead and see how this fight goes. And just so you know, the natural rain is autocast turn 0 by that dragon hero. And then we've got Foul Vapors going up and Light of the Northern Star. Really quick. Alright, this one is twice spawned. Oh, it gets stolen. Okay. Alright, well. I think generally this one went pretty well for Pythium. So Pythium loses their Legatus, but otherwise they only lose an Angel of the Host. They gain a Bakemono Sorcerer, who they can maybe do like Divine Name or a Gift of Reason on. They gain 19 Die Bakemono, 3 Draconians. They lose 23 Emerald Guard. Okay. And then for Shinyama, I mean, this was pretty devastating. The only one to get away was the hero and one flatulent. Brutal. Okay. And let's see. So that was here. Then in Rostad, got a number of big fights this turn. It's been a good one. Alright. We have some mercs. They're going to kill some PD. Then in Dalepa, got some magma kids. They're going to kill some barbs. In Eternal Sentinel Hills, we've got just a ping. And then in Sotera, another golem. Alright, this one's just normal phase moving. It should be able to clear all this, though. Yeah. And then in Usrad, another little Agartha contingent. I like these contingents where it's just the Pale One soldiers and a handful of Olms. Because you get a little bit of mind blasting, but you're not like overcommitting to this. In Glen of Iron, got another Bakemono Sork that's twice spawned. But this looks like just PD, so I think they'll be okay. Ooh, the Ghost Cat dies, though. I suppose we can watch it. It's just going to be this guy buffing up and then doing evocations, but... Alright. Let's see. Then in Earthsore Desert. This is a lot of spiders. I think Machaka wins this, especially since it's just PD. Yeah, if that thing's gonna route right off the rip, then definitely an L. Alright, easy victory. And then in Scarce Hope Waste. I think PD wins this. Yeah. Then in Oceania. That should go fine. So goes ahead and sits on that capital. Starting the process of killing, yes. Another... Oh my. Okay. So this army, this is the one that got dropped on. Because it's got the Patriarch. And there's not a lot of stuff here. We can see which drop it was. I can go back and check. But we've got all the spiders. Not a lot of mage support, though, from Machaka. So, yeah, this... Oh, it was the golem that dropped, because this guy's got the bladder stick. We've the charcoal shield. Okay. But yeah, we've just got a couple of thugs. This one's got a thistle mace, I guess, that he's picked up. And then we do have some an earth 4 mage, so maybe we got Marble Army. And then we got the blue cap from Pythium also filling in as an earth 4. Very cool. And I guess a nature mage as well. So not a lot of mage support, but maybe just enough mages. You know, this could be Hal, and maybe we get like some sort of Marble Army. Oh, yeah, Hal. Soldiers of Steel. I don't know why I was thinking Marble Army. I don't think it's possible for Machaka to have the tech for that, but ooh-wee. Pythium might have more spiders than Machaka now. Well, really quick before we exit this screen, what did you cast? Soldiers of Steel, a little bit of Petrify, Giant Strength and Weapons of Sharpness. Pretty good buffs. Group Regen. That's the Howlcaster. They both ended up putting up Howl. So in terms of commanders, most of the Machaka mages got away, it looks like. And maybe one of the thugs. But yeah, this is rough. Whoops. Let's see. So that was on Grillian. Pythium loses 1 mage, gains 15 Black Hunters, loses 4 Emerald Guard, gains 8 Hunter Spiders, 4 Machaka Hoplites, loses 7 Mechanical Men. And if they didn't, they lost only 1 Theurg Communicant, otherwise did not burn out the Communion. Pythium's stronger after this battle than they were before it. Good grief. I mean, that's a lot of nice, like, soldiery that they've got. Meanwhile, Machaka's out 56 Black Hunters, 29 Hunter Spiders. They did lose a Spider Sorceress, which I guess isn't the biggest deal. But yeah, this was brutal, losing most of their sacreds like this. Huge win for Pythium, which should help them feel a little bit better after the mono drop that they eventually soul slayed, but after losing all their troops and after getting Wind of Death. All right. And then also, this was the fort that was getting besieged, so they've resecured that fort. In Farron Mountains, we've got Stengarth Raid. In Sea of Plenty, all right, not much going on there. And then White Forest. Yeah, we had a lot of showdowns this turn. This is going to be another small communion, though, that might steal more spiders. All right. Let me see. Is that here? Yeah, all right. This is just my opinion, but I think the mount system could be a little bit more dynamic. If you steal 5 of these hunter spiders out from under these black hunters, you should get 5 hunter spiders. But I guess it just counts as killing them. All right. Let's see. But I think that would require mounts being able to also be their own unit. Which in this case I think would work. But all right. Was that? That's Cerulean, so that was White Forest. In Broken Ocean, I'm assuming they didn't run into anything. Oh, they did. So a small group of Umbrals, complete with an Oracle of the Ancients. Gets 4 Morgan Champion Thugs. Unequaled Obesity, Heroic Endurance, Tough Skin, and Enormous Strength. So, yeah, all heroes. This is a very elite Yes squad. A little bit of PD to, I guess, annoy the Umbrals or keep them busy for a bit. Although with Life Drain, they've some of them are up to near 100 HP now. Big Petrify, that could kill that one. Yep. Let's see if that actually helped, though. Where's that? That was supposed to be Broken Ocean. Okay, so that's a replay bug. Morgan Champion does not affect, or maybe it was just a Morvark Knight. Maybe that we did see that right. Okay. Then in the halls, we got Pythium attacking Shinyama. Okay. That goes well. It's just a little mage ball. Just casually killing PD. Alright, in Blightlands. Let's see, we got another Bakemono Sorcerer Thug. This one's got fire gems, though. I wonder if this is some sort of firestorm thing, or if it's just going to be a bunch of fire elementals. In here we've got Oathbound from Pythium. So I think Pythium found a site that lets him get these. Oh, it is a firestorm trap. Okay. Alright. They almost made it to him, but they gave up. I don't think they would have been able to kill him anyways. Alright. So Shenhu loses 11 Terracotta Soldiers but kills 11 Oathbound. A solid score. Then Mapito Cliffs. Ooh, a bunch of Shade Beasts with no leadership. I wonder... I bet that stealthy guy got mind hunted. So, and that was clearing that out. Then in Anasia, let's see, just another small group getting mind blasted. In Borsha, running into some more PD. PD wins this time. In Durland, another Agartha army killing Jotunheim PD. In Anvast, let's see, we've got Bergomar, the Golem. Should be able to kill this. And then in Trottern, let's see. Another somewhat small Pythium stack with some more stolen spiders. And then in Timeless Waste, another Agartha army, a little bit on the smaller side. This is their land army. Because most of the stuff is not amphibious, like the Mammikas, flagellants, goblins, crossbows, winter wolves. So the only part that can go underwater are these olms, but he's been trying to include olms in every stack just because it's mostly just upside. Even as a stolen Morvark, it looks like in this group. Yeah. Alright. So, busy turn. A lot of big drops. Not much action in the caves. I thought we had one little fight down there. Maybe I was thinking like that little mage ball. Anyways. Alright, so Jotunheim. Alright, here's the pressure coming south. And let's see. So it looks like he's trying to soak up all the remaining Jotunheim territory around Nabha. Possibly put Nabha back under siege, maybe crack it and take it. I think this works. You need to do that for one of the two sides, just so you can start closing out this war. I think my preference would have been Jotunheim itself, but we'll see how it goes. We do see more Jotun werewolves there, so maybe like a turbocom is still running around up there. The upside of going for Nabha is he can't hire new Thrims Herdings in Nabha. So, whereas if he's trying to fight on Jotunheim every turn that Jotunheim's free, it gets more Thrims Herdings, but not necessarily the case here, unless Jotunheim finds some way to unlock Gateway. So, we'll see how he does. He does have this stack of magma kits to try and help contain. He'll have fresh recruitment from Tiradir and Kunal. They can also help out. So it's still not going to be trivial for Jotunheim to try and break out of this. There's still some Shinyama forces running around in the area. So he's trying to put a death blow on Nabha itself, which is a lot of money for Jotunheim. I guess let's keep talking about Agartha. So on Agartha's other fronts, we've got the offensive going into Yes, so this is the group that got Demilich dropped. And then, let's see, yeah. And then this is the siege of Osenrad. I do wonder if maybe some of this stuff is planning to go into the caves and take away that cave income, or add it to Agartha. He is indeed just kind of running past Yes. Yes is forced to at least keep some sort of garrison on the capital so he can keep recruiting. So I think that's a fairly good strategy, unless you want to try and kill some more Varks. I don't think Yes would want to get the cap locked down. But we'll see if Agartha goes for the risk. Otherwise, Agartha is just draining the income from Yes. So Oceania is under siege. He does want that. It's not a very tough fort. Did get blocked here by Yes. So Yes is trying to maintain a little bit of a front line. We have a number of Kurnow Druids up here. We got some Adepts of the Golden Order over here in Valrest. So actually, Yes has managed to maintain a lot of their gem income because it's coastline based over here and it's Broken Ocean. But in terms of recruitment for fighting underwater, they're actually kind of struggling versus Agartha. Yes, being a nation better known for fighting on land. So, and then they've got the throne fort here. So we'll see if they can fend off all these Agartha armies. Agartha certainly has a lot of troops, that's for sure. And this peace with Pythium is absolutely benefited them. Pythium, meanwhile, let's see. So we had the big fight on Gorillion. But I'm just blind. Yeah, right here. So this was that big battle. So I think this guts a lot of Machaka's strength. You've got mostly summoned hunter spiders over here. Not a lot of black hunters still running around. So killed 5 there. Killed a golem there. That protected a retreat route. Defeated the mono drop here to defend another retreat route. So I think Machaka is pretty much toast here. Especially if Pythium can push this advantage. And then we've got a Pythium army moving out in Kamiya, defeating a small Shinyama army. And this is really a strategic province because it takes a long time for Shinyama to go back and forth around this province. Whereas I think they can one-turn move through it. But it's also somewhat dangerous for Pythium to hold this because this army's completely surrounded and cut off, especially after losing the raid on this fort. And they did get Golem dropped up here. And then where was the Wind of Death trap? Why is Agartha attacking Shinyama? Or pinging it, I guess? Oh, maybe they just got patrolled out. I don't know. Yeah, so here's the Golem drop. Trying to find that Wind of Death trap. Oh, I think that was here. Yeah, so Wind of Death here. And then a follow-up from the Shinyama. I don't know, it's almost like a fire stack. They used fire gems for fire elementals for the fire storm. And it was a big fire mage. And they've got terracotta summons. So, pretty big fire gem sink, but it does wipe out a Pythium force in Blightlands. So maybe the goal here is to free this fort. What? Were these guys scripted to retreat? I guess the scout won. Oh. I don't know what this gets you. Or why is Agartha pinging this? Okay. I thought Shinyama was an ally, but that caught me off guard. And then yeah, I think that's a lot of the conflicts. Very dynamic. Pythium's still trying to fight. I mean, this victory against Machaka, I suppose they could try to push for Machaka, but I think what they might end up doing is maybe trying to get a peace out with Machaka and bring them on side against someone else, but I don't know that Machaka's going to want to peace out. And then, yeah, they're still trying to contain Shinyama. But, I mean, Shinyama's putting together some pretty dangerous little stacks built around Bakemono sorcerers. So, love to see what they do. And then, yeah, I can probably stop blathering. So let me pull up provinces. We get a big spike up from Agartha, a lot of successful raiding in the Jotunheim and Yes regions. In fact, they're at a new high. And you can see it's at Yes's expense in Jotunheim. And then Pythium also with a little bit of an uptick versus Machaka. But Shinyama was up a little, which took some of the edge off of Pythium's rise. So Pythium lost some to Shinu, but gained some versus Machaka. In terms of forts, unchanged. Income, Pythium still falling down. Agartha getting more and more income. So getting close to their old highs before they declared war on Pythium. And then, where's this though? The war with... No, war with Jotunheim started sooner. So yeah, this is, I think, matches the war with Pythium maybe. Gem income is Agartha in first. Research, we got a little bump up from Pythium there. Maybe they were trying to hit a specific target. Dominion, Pythium. Army size is still Agartha. Machaka got absolutely slaughtered this turn. They lost so much stuff. And then Pythium still lost a fair bit. They got dropped on a couple of times, like that Wind of Death trap. Shinyama's down this turn, although I forget entirely why. Maybe they just didn't do it. They don't have a lot of money for recruitment. Yeah, they got some money. Maybe they're spending it on Bakemono sorcerers. And then, yeah, but Agartha continuing to print out armies. And now all those armies that they've been printing are starting to turn into material gains in terms of more provinces with more income and more gems. Like getting all over Yis here. A lot of new income coming in. Although some of these provinces are pretty poor. Yeah, the Oceania region's a little bit richer. I can see why they would defend the kelp forest here. Shouldn't Yes have had a kelp forest? Oh, I guess it was just called a farmland. It's only got 4,800 pop. All right. But yeah, I mean, we'll see how the rest of this goes. But overall, a very exciting turn. I expect a couple of turns of maybe pushing advantage or smaller engagements. I think a lot of the army fights happen this turn. We might get something between Agartha and Nabah. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.